And they have a lot to celebrate as Team Jamaica rakes in medals at the 2012 Olympic Games. During a church service here in Nassau yesterday to commemorate the occasion, Jamaican Association President Hubert Edwards said over the past 5 decades they've had many struggles, but the country has also achieved much. He used sprinter Usain Bolt's record-breaking performance yesterday in the 100-meter finals as an example, along with Johan Blake's silver medal performance and that of Shelly-Ann Price, who got the ball rolling, capturing Jamaica's first medal of the Games.
That kind of epitomizes what Jamaica is about. We are world beaters, and we work very hard for what we have, and we want to spread that message of love, that message of hope, that as a people, if you continue to work hard, if you continue to do what is good and what is in the best interest of the wider humanity, you always will triumph. And to our friends here in the Bahamas, we say, we love you, we appreciate you, you're our host, and we work very hard, and we want to send a message that the Hummingbirds Association specifically works as ambassadors to make sure that our time here in the Bahamas is productive. It aids the growth and development of the Bahamas.
The number of domestic violence cases in the Bahamas continues to rise, and according to officials from the Crisis Center, at least 1,200 cases of domestic violence are reported annually. Earlier this week, the Ministry of Social Services and the Women's Bureau of Affairs introduced its Domestic Violence is Everyone's Business campaign. Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, says her ministry is hoping to partner with the church as they encourage victims to come forward.
The legislation offers protection to victims, men, women, and children who are experiencing any form of domestic violence, whether that violence is physical, psychological, sexual, or financial. It enables persons to go before the courts within 48 hours. It criminalizes stalking and harassment. It mandates the police to intervene and help the victims. Especially important, it can save relationships and the family because it gives the magistrate powers to mandate that the parties receive intervention.
Well, Minister Griffin also noted it's important not to overlook abused men.
The report that we have from the police in terms of reported domestic violence cases to them, it's like 1,200 a year. But we feel that it's more than that because the hospitals certainly see on a daily basis. If Urban Renewal is saying they're seeing people on a daily basis, we know the figures are greater.
Is it a moral or democratic question? That was the argument during a debate at New Covenant Baptist Church this week on gambling. Scores of Bahamians gathered for the discussion. Host pastor Bishop Simeon Hall believes that the government should regularize the industry. Agreeing with him is attorney Wallace Rowe, who said a democratic society should make democratic decisions. He noted that there are many Bahamian laws which are antiquated and don't fully address issues. For example, prostitution.
Prostitution is not illegal in the Bahamas. Solicitation of prostitution is illegal, which is really absurd. A man can meet a lady on the road and take her for prostitution and pay her, but that's not illegal. But if a lady walks in a short pants and say, "Listen here, I'm selling something to you," that is what is illegal.
Well, Pastor Cedric Moss is against legalizing the industry. Moss said that it's hard enough dealing with the social ills that already exist.
I don't think that we want a country where people believe that you can earn money outside of the two legitimate ways that I know about, that is to work for it or to inherit it, but to have someone give it to you.
Now, the group called We Care, which represents owners in the numbers business, didn't appear. A referendum on gambling, meantime, is pending. Bahamian writers throughout the country celebrating Bahamian heritage and culture during a recent gathering of writers at the Chapter 1 bookstore. The writers focused on various genres, including fiction, motivational, children's books, and novels. President of Commonwealth Writers of the Bahamas, Vera Chase, who is the author of Take Me Back to Guanahani, lamented that Bahamian writers are seldom recognized for their work.
We want to have a closer relationship with the students and the writers in the Family Islands, because we do have writers as far down as Ragged Island, and we're trying to strategize the way whereby the Family Island students and writers could come to Nassau for some of our functions. We'd like to go to them, but we've been trying to get some funding together so we can set up writing clubs in the Family Islands, in particular in islands of Cat Island. We have 2 schools on Cat Island where the #1 writers, and we also have in Andros. And in fact, we have the only islands we don't have is Exuma and Long Island, but we have all the other islands where writers are.
Well, during the gathering, writers showcased their published works. Among the authors were Sub-Lieutenant at the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Glenn McPhee, who wrote The Marine Recruit's Guide. Cynthia Fowler has 2 books, Echoes from the Isles of the Bahamas and Life on the Lumber Farm, The Forgotten Industry of the Bahamas. Dr. Albert Ferguson wrote a book called Surgery with God to inspire persons who are ill.
You have a lot of potential, regardless to the naysayers, regardless to the situation or the opinions of others. You have a lot of potential.
Start writing about what you know and what is familiar with you. Don't try to write something that you heard about, but write about something that you feel comfortable with.
This ministry booklet is to a special group in the body of Christ. Persons who are facing surgery, persons who are recuperating from major surgery, other traumatic illnesses, people who are carrying cancer in their bodies, people who are doing physiotherapy, dialysis.